All right, everybody, so welcome. Today is going to be a video that's all about 635. So today this video is called 635, right? And actually, let's call it 612 3 5 daily, okay? So all this that we're going to go over today is on a pattern, right? This is just on a pattern. So this is all about pattern recognition, okay? With TD, all right? So we're going to use pattern recognition with TD. So this is the 6 with the 12 and the 3-5 with the daily, okay? So 12-hour. Now, something that's super important I want you guys to look at is you go down into and you start digging into your charts, and you guys do use if you do use TD indicator, right, is you have two different things that like to set themselves up on the 12-hour chart. So, right, we're gonna kind of go into our notes on our 12-hour chart. So, number one on the 12-hour chart, the reversals like to happen on sixes, right? The reversals like to happen on sixes, right? Yeah. All right. All right, the reversals love to happen on sixes, okay? Now, there's two different kind of sixes that you got to watch for, right? And the key, the most bearish six is a green 6 with a red candle, right? And when you have a green 6 with a red candle, right? Bearish. We're going to put the most bearish 6 equals a green 6. There we go. A green 6 with a red candle. And that's kind of the first thing I want to go over here. So as you peel back your chart and you start looking at your 12-hour chart, look, you go green 5, green 6. So it's a green 6 with a red candle. And look at it dumps. And you can go back in time and you can count how many times this has happened. Look, green 6, red candle, dump. Right? Green 6, red candle, dump. So you know, and usually you never know what the next candle is going to be. Green 6, red candle, dump. All right, let's go back a little farther. Green 6, red candle, dump. Right? It's a recurring pattern. Green 6, red candle. Now this didn't dump here. Well, it did dump. It rallied, but it rallied out into a dump that followed it up real quick. All right, so let's go over and look at green 6s that ended up being green 6s. So here's a green 6 that stayed green and it stays bullish. Green 6 that stayed green, it was bullish. Now this would be bullish here because this green 6 did push higher. It eventually did dump, but this is still a bullish move that continued after it, right? This is still a bullish continuation. So now we go back into looking at our dumps, right? Red, green 6, red candle, continuation of the pattern, okay? Where else? Where are we at? All right, so here you go. Now here you go. So this is tough here. This is a lot. Now it doesn't work every time, but this is a high percentage pattern. And when I talk about a high percentage, this thing is like 70% that it comes out. Now you did hit the green 6, it dumped, and this did take off. So this is something to keep an eye out for here. This one did not play out, okay? Red 6, green 6, red candle, huge, massive dump. We come down here. Now you got the red 6 again, green 6, right? Green 6 went to a green 7. So as soon as this went to a green 7, there should have been something that was like, hey, look, if it makes it over to a green 7, it then flips this trade bullish, right? So here you got a red 6, green 6, green 7. So once it gets to this green 7, a lot of times it just says, hey, this is going to keep going, right? So this is a pretty good recognition pattern here as you play this down. Green 6, green candle, kept going. Green 6, green candle, kept going. Red 6, you know, would have been a good play for a short. As soon as it flipped to a 7, you would have been busted. You would have basically had your stop loss above the green 6. Your stop loss would have got busted. You would have lost a little bit on that trade. Green 6, green candle up. Green 6, red candle, died. Okay, green 6, green candle up. Green 6, green candle. Now, this is tough because this is a lot of sideways movement right here. You would have set your stop loss right above it, and you actually would have, you know, if you would have tried to trade this bullish, you would have looked at this possibly as a bullish candle. But looking at this candle right here, I mean, so this would have been a tough little area, right, to trade. That would have definitely dumped out. You would have done bad. You would have set your stop loss right below the candle for a long trade here, and this would have fallen out. Red 6, green 6, red candle fell out. So now that we have a recognition of a pattern that occurs, right? There's green 6, green candle up, green 6, green candle up. We can go back here and we can see that we now have a pattern, right? And we are into so we did a green 6, right? Green 6 posted. We went to a green 7. Now this was bullish, right? Now this was a bullish. This says, hey, I would have set a long trade. And trust me, I just learned this myself. You guys know I love these 6s. So a long trade would have been posted here with the stop loss underneath the wick, right? This would have been your stop loss right here underneath this wick to play this long trade. And this long scalp, I should say, right? So this would have been a long scalp. Now, you would have had so far right now with this trade, you would be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? This would have been an okay long trade here to get into this trade, right? So you would have got in right around 6,700 or even maybe a little bit higher, right? And I did. I actually opened up a small long trade in here. I had a small long trade, and we'll see how it does, right? So looking at this right here, this green 7. So now if you're playing, so this is on the bear side. So we're going to call this a bear side. So reversals like to happen on the 6s, right? So we're looking on the bear side now. So the most bearish is a 6. Most bearish 6 is a green 6 with a red candle, right? And to play this trade, right? To play this trade, we're going to bring this up. We're going to find ourselves a nice fat red 6. All right, let's bring ourselves up here. Nice fat red 6, okay? So when you would play this nice fat red 6, what you would do is you would enter your trade. Yeah, let's get an arrow. So you would probably enter your trade here once this posted this 6 up. Once you saw this got to a green 6, the second this started to turn into a red candle, which unfortunately is going to be further down here. You know, you're going to have to get deep down into this. You're going to wait for this candle to close. So you would have probably got into this trade right about there. This would have been where you would have gotten into this trade right here. So you would have probably entered the trade at the end of the green, at the end of the red 6 candle, or if you would have seen this candle going red, you would have entered short into this trade. So you would have entered into this trade. So this is, we're going to do a bear trade. So you would have entered into this trade, enter in at red 6 candle flip. So you're looking for the candle to flip red, right? You're looking for the candle to flip red. Then you're going to wait for the close of the candle, and then you're going to enter, right? Enter the trade with your stop loss. Unfortunately, now you can do the body. If you want to play it safe, you can do the top of the body. Enter the trade on the new candle. and then set your stop loss. So two options. You would have one option which would be tight, which would be the on top of the body. Of the red 6 candle, right? Okay, and then you would have had loose would have been on top of the wick of the red 6 candle, and it should say previous. Okay, so this would have been your trade. Your trade setup for this bearish trade, you would have set your stop loss here, right? So your stop loss would have been here, right above. You don't want to go right on it. I always like to go a little bit above it, give it a little bit of room so you don't get wicked out in your trade. And this would have been the tight stop loss. Your higher stop loss, your looser stop loss would have been above the 6, right? Now, if you would have entered this trade as a scalping trade, right, or a short trade, you would have been looking for this. You would have wanted to do a trailing stop loss on this. So what would have happened is you would have set, okay, so this candle would have come down and closed. Now, this candle closed right here, right? The candle closed right here. When this candle opened again, it became bullish. Now, your stop loss would have moved down to here, right? This would have been your looser stop loss now here. This would have been your tighter stop loss here. So what we'll do is we'll change these candles up. There's looser, and this will be tighter. So if you do, you would have set your tighter stop loss above this candle right here, and you would have been at a break-even trade right there, right? That would have been a break-even trade. Now, as this candle closed right here, this red candle, you would have had the choice, right, to leave your stop loss in place and keep playing this because you weren't a winning trade. Or the smarter thing to do would be to take off 50% of your trade. So here at this point right here, you would have taken 50% of your trade as profit, right? When you saw this green candle come, right? You saw this green candle with this bullish wick right here. You would have taken 50% of your profit off the trade, and you would have made, it would have been almost a 100-point trade. Yeah, it would have been 100 points, a little over 100 points. It would have been a great trade. You would have taken 50% of your profit off the table, and then you would have gotten wicked out of this trade if you would have set your stop loss tight and or, well, if this was short, if you would have set it loose, you would not, because your loose stop loss would have been all the way up here to this candle. Your tight stop loss would have been to the top of this candle. It then would have fallen off. If you would have played this as a loose stop loss, this would have fallen off. Now, as this candle came up and fell out again, right? This candle fell out again. What would happen is you would watch as this candle would close. Now, this would have been super tough because you would have then moved your stop loss. This would have been your loose stop loss. This would have been your tight stop loss right here. So your tight stop loss would have been right here on the close of this candle when you were playing this candle right here. So you would have been right there and right here. This would have been tight. This would have been loose. And as this fell out, as this candle closed down here, when this candle closed all the way down here, you would have then adjusted your stop loss one more time, and you would have come down to here would have been tight, here would have been loose, right? Right there. And then this would have came back up and taken you out of the trade eventually for the remaining 50% of your balance, right? Or you could have eked out some little more profits on the way down, or you could have seen this thing turn around and just started to take profits, got scared on the trade. But at this point, I would have let this take me out because it would have taken me out in profit. Okay, now this works really well on a lot of other, usually on the sixes, right? So let's go and find another 6, right? So here's another 6 right here, for example. And if you would have gotten into this trade right here, okay, here's your trade. So right here, here would have been your 6. This would have came down and this would have closed right here. You then would have gotten into your trade at the bottom right here on the close of this candle, right? Your loose stop loss would be up high. Your tight stop loss would be there. Now, this thing would have fallen out. It would have came down and dumped all the way down into here, right? You would have taken profit. You would have taken some profit from this trade when it closed down here. You could have taken 50% of your position off the table right here, and you would have been sitting really good because you would have had from 8,300 to 8,100, 80, almost 8,200. It would have been another 100-point trade. You would have been able to get into. I'm sorry, if you would have started here, this would have came back up, never taken you out. It would have dropped all the way down to here. So your profit would be from 8,180 all the way down to 7,900. Okay, so 7,900, you would have been all the way down here. When it flipped into this candle, you would have taken 50% of your trade off the table. This would have been a huge trade. You would have done really well. This would have been a very big trade. Now, this would have been a lot tougher to play, all right? So here you go. So this would have been your tight stop loss right over here. Your loose stop loss would have been up here on top of these candles right here. Now, if you would have played a loose stop loss, you would have just monsterly crushed this trade right here. You would have done an amazing trade, and you would have been all the way down here, and you would have just, you never would have got out of this trade pretty much. There would have never been a reason to get out of the rest of this trade. You would have just followed this down. This never bounced back hard enough. Right now, this 9 right here probably would have been a good shot. You know, okay, you hit the red 9, but you knew it was going to bleed, and this kid just kept playing out. You probably never would have got taken out of this trade all the way down. If you look back, this is how I played this trade, and I actually got into this trade right here, up here somewhere, and then I played this trade all the way down. You can go back on my Twitter page. You can see it, how I played this all the way down here. Okay, so that would be playing a bearish 6 right there, right? That would be playing a bearish 6, all right? And let's go over. Now, the next thing I want to go over, because I like the bearish 6s because they are very, this always loves to turn around on a 6, right? So now we're going to go look at one other pattern, and this is the daily, right? So we're going to go over here and look at our daily pattern, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull our daily chart up with our TD indicator on it. And we see that here on the daily, we have a different pattern, right? We have 3s and 5s, right? 5, 3, you can see where the pivots are. 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, right? You can see where all these pivots occur. Okay, now look at the pattern here. Look at the pattern. You've got a 3, 3, you got a hanging 4, and now you got a 5, right? Now, if this turns into a red 5, right, which I don't know if it's possible or not right here, we'll see. But if this turns into a 5, you're looking for a reversal pattern here, right? So you'd be looking for a reversal, playing your daily. Look, green 5 candle, right? Green 5 candle did fall out. Green 5, now this was a continuation. This did fall out. I mean, technically this did fall out a little bit, but you need to go in here. We need to dig. So let's see what we can see. Red 5, green 5, right? Green 5, red candle dumped. Green 5, red candle did dump, but was a continuation pattern. Green 5, red candle dumped. Green 5 still on a green candle. Okay, so the green 5s on the green candle. Green 5, green candle dump. Green 3, green candle, big dump. Green 5, green candle, a dump, but continuation. Green 5, just kept going. Green 5, and then dump, red. So here you go. So here's your 3. So this actually pivoted on the 3. The pivot was on the 3, not on the 5. So you would have been playing the 3 here, not the 5. You would have played the 3 here, 3 here. So these are green 3, red 3. If you look at the candle, so you want to look at the candle comparison. Shooting star, doji, shooting star, evening star, and then you have, this is a shooting star. Evening star, shooting star. All right. There's a green 3 shooting star, green 3 shooting star. 5, green 5. So you can see as you go through this, you can see where the pivots like to occur. They like to occur on the 5s and or the 3s, and those are usually the pretty good, easier to play ones, right? So 3, now this happened on an 8. This didn't help you. There's the 3. There's a 5. This was a green 5. Nope, this didn't pivot on the 5. That pivoted on the 6. I pivoted on the 5. And pivoted on the 5. Pivoted on the 3. Pivoted on the 5. So you can go through and you can see you get the same pattern that plays out on the daily. Only difference is the green, this one plays out on the this plays out on the 3s and the 5s. So I'm going to bring this a little smaller. Okay. So on the we're going to do the daily. On the bear side is the same thing. So most of the reversals, right, are on 3s, green 3s, and green 5s. So it likes green 3s and green 5s, but what color candle does it like when it does reverse? It seems like it likes to reverse on a green candle. All right, so let's go back up here. Green 5, big reversal. Green 3, big reversal. Green 3, big reversal. Red 3, monster reversal. Green 3, monster reversal. Green 5, monster reversal. Okay, so this is a little tougher because the candles can vary. So it likes both green. It likes the green 3s. Right? It likes the green 3s, and it likes the red 3s too. All right, let's count them out. Let's count them out here, okay? So we're going to count out the 3s. So you got 1 green. Let's see here. So you got 1 red, 1 green, 2 reds, 1 green, 2 greens, 2 reds. Green, green, red. So there's 3 greens. So there's 3 greens, 2 reds. So it looks like it's 3 greens and 2 reds. So, I mean, that's almost a 50-50 there on the greens. So green or red candles, it's 50-50. Okay, so it's 50-50 on the green or red candles. All right. So getting back up here, now you are looking, now see this didn't flip on the 6, this flipped on the 5. Yep, see there's a 5, so it's flipped on the 5. That possibly would have been the peak. No, that would have been a 3. So it would have been a flip on the 5 and on the 3 right there. 3. So you see that the continuation pattern reversal, the reversals are usually on the 3s or the 5s, right? It's where it likes to happen. Now, if you get the stack 3, 5, kind of like we got right now, right? So we've got this stacked 3, 5. So we've got a stacked 3, 5. So let's see here, because this should have told us here that the reversal happened on the 3. So the 3 should have been the reversal, okay, on this particular pattern that plays out on the daily, right? So this is the daily, because that 3 posted above. So look, there's the higher 3, then the 5. So you got the 3 higher than the 5. The 3 is higher than the 5. 3, and then the 5 took off. Let's go back here. 3 at the bottom of a trend. Now, the other thing is it likes to be at the top of a trend. So make sure you're counting your 3s at the top of a trend, not at the bottom of a trend, okay? So the pattern recognition also needs to be, you need to be looking for these bear side, for these reversals at the top of a trend. Okay, so you need to be looking for these reversals at the top of a trend, not at the bottom of a trend. Key. All right, now, as you guys know, so there's the 3, green 5 lower, and then fell out. Green 3, green 5 lower, fell out. Green 5 played lower, green 3 just died. All right, now I do like to play one of the most important things I like to play, though, you guys, you know, I love to play this 12, this 12 candle right here. The 12-hour is my favorite play of all of them. I feel the 12-hour chart is the most accurate chart of all of them. So what you should be doing is, when you're doing this correlation, you need to be going back and forth between the charts to make sure that you have a correlation between both of these, right? You know, between both of the 12-hour and the daily. Because even if this is this 12-hour here, let's do this. I'm going to split this chart. Okay, so we're going to bring this up. Okay, we're going to bring this up. We're going to bring this over here. I'm going to flip this to the daily over here. Okay. So, remember, your numbers don't necessarily coordinate. They're not automatically going to coordinate between one another every time you have the dump, right? Now, look at this great coordination. This was a 6. It coordinated with a green, a 9, a green 9, right? So you had this great... You had this green 6 right here that was a red candle. This would have been an awesome short trade. You would have had the red 9. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer. I mean, any elementary trader should have been able to pick that up pretty easily. Okay, that should have been a pretty easy trade right there. Let's go and try to find a little bit. Let's see how this one correlates right here. All right, so there's our 10,000. Here's our 10,000 peak right here. So you got your green 6 with your red candle. Remember, if you guys think back and remember this area right here, everybody thought we were going to 11.6, 11.8, 11.2. I remember this. I remember it well. I called the top earlier here. I did miss my call. Oh, no, this is the one I called it perfect. I called 99.30 on this one. I called this one almost $1. So here you have a green 6, but look, this lined up on the daily on a green 3, right? So look at how the perfect correlation worked out. So this green 3, remember we say it flips on the 3s, this lined up perfect with your 5 and your 6. So there was your 6, it lined up absolutely money on that thing, and you were able to make a great trade. All right, let's pull this back over here. All right, there it is. Okay, so there's your red 6 and a red 3, right? So you're able to, so that did line up there. Let's see if this one lined up. Nope, 2 8s. 2 8s, that wouldn't have helped me. So I'm looking for 6s, 6 reversals. Nope, Nope, that didn't help me. All right, let's go down here. There's our green 3. All right, so on your 12-hour chart over here, right, you see the green 3 right here. Here's your green 3. Now, on your 12-hour chart, the 12-hour chart was only on a green 2. So your daily overpowered that and then pulled that down, then sucked that trade right down. This was no help. This whole area up here was no help on the 12-hour chart because it was bleeding. Okay, there's your next fold over. Your next rollover was, no, that didn't help. There's your green 6. All right, so your 6 and your 3 lined up again. All right, so let's go see where we're at right now. Okay, so we're on a 5. So your 6s and your 3s like to line up for a good dump. Right, so we're going to throw that in here. So we're going to be like, so we like to, so big dumps, watch for daily 3 and 12-hour 6. Oh. So daily, so this would be a daily green 3 and a green 6, right? This would be a green TD6. Green TD. I need to be more specific here. Okay. All right. All right, so let's take a look and see where we're at right now. See what we can figure out with this pattern here. All right, so we did... So our 6, we are now on a green 6. Okay, so we had the green 6. So the green 6 doesn't help us. This green 6 didn't help us, right? Because this green 6 often can be seen as a continuation pattern. So we have a green 6 with a green candle, green 6 with a green candle. Here's the thing. This candle could not have possibly flipped to be a red 6. When it flipped right here, it flipped to be a red 1. Okay, so it flipped to be a red 1. So this is in a very, very, very difficult trading place for me. That's why I keep saying this. This is a super hard trading place. But if you look over here, you have a green 6 with a green candle. And oftentimes this is a continuation pattern up, right? This says, hey, this can go up. So green 6, green candle will go up. And let's go back and we're going to see if we can find another green 6 with a green candle. Green 6 red candle. Green 6 red candle. Man, this thing just does not like to play green 6 green candles. Green 6 red candle. Green 6 green candle. Continuation, green 6 green candle. Now this did get one more little leg up and printed off an extremely bearish 7, a green 7 here, right? Which then did have a fallout, right? So we'd be watching over here to see what kind of a 7 this prints out. Is this going to print out a very bearish 7 or a bullish 7, right? And nope, red 6, green 6, but red candle, I'm sorry. Green 6, red candle. Green 6, red candle. Green 6, green candle. Green 6, green candle, continuation. Green 6, green candle, continuation. Red 6, dive. Green 6. So of all of the places we're at right now, this is probably really close to looking like what we look right here, right? So let's pull this over. We're going to pull this 12-hour up. This extreme, all this indecision. Now the difference is this is a falling wedge, which would have made me a little more, as I watched this play out, I would have watched this play out as a falling wedge, where this is printing off an absolutely just money, absolutely perfect rising wedge. Now, just because it's printing off a rising wedge right here, it does not 100% say this is going to be bearish, because look at this rising wedge here that totally took off, right? Rising wedges, yeah, it took off, right? This isn't an easy play. This is just not an easy play right here, okay? The daily says, oh, 3 hours. Sorry, thinking 3s and 6s. So your daily says this would fall and you would place a short trade, right? With your stop loss being above this 3. This is how this daily setup would be lined up right now for you, right? It just would be better if it was coordinated with a red 6, right? This thing is just not lined up with a red 6. Come on, let go. This thing just doesn't want to let go. Come here. All right. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Okay, so reversals green 3s and green 5s, and it likes to print up, so we should big dump. So we should also say that this a little smaller. So we should also say that on the bear side, number 2, it likes to print a green 3, then sideways, but lower, green 5, then dump. Okay, so we've seen that pattern play out a couple times. All right, on the 12-hour, so 12-hour on the bull side, right? It likes a green 6 with a green candle for a continuation. And then this then likes to turn on a red, on a green 9. Right? So this likes to then turn on a green 9. So it loves to print up this green 6 here. Right? So you see there's the green 6. And then this flipped all the way up to that green 9. And then it likes to, you know, this is kind of where it wants to do its thing up here. All right, green 6. Let's see. Let's go find one more green 6 candle and see how that pulled us out of here. All right, green 6, green 9. All right, so no, it's green 6. Where's the bull? Where's the bull? Where's the bull? So I would say this is very bullish. So if it goes to a green 6 and hits a green 9, it seems like it likes to keep going. All right, so it likes to keep going bullish. So even when you print up this green 6, green 6 red kept going to a 9, just kept going. Green 6, red 6, green 6, kept going. Red 6, Got a bitch to play. Nope. Nope. Green 6, kept going. Green 6, reversed. So I would say 70% of the time when it prints up a green 6, 70% of the time when this thing prints up a green 6, it keeps going. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go up here on the bull side. 70 to 80. There you go. Okay. But on the daily, it likes to dump on the 3-5. So on the daily, it loves to dump on the 3-5. So I would say here, which doesn't help us at all, is you have a situation to where this likes to, on the bear side, bear dumps green, D, TD3, and green, yeah. Where did I just put that? Alright, yeah, it's right here. And I would say 70% here, this likes to print the green 3, then move sideways, right? Then move sideways but lower, and then you hit the green 5, and then it dumps. Okay? So we now have a pretty good recognition pattern of something that we can use to play out using the 635. So using this 635, we can see where this likes to dump out at, right? And confused. Now, you could be looking at this green 6 right here, and because it's a doji candle, you could be playing this as a neutral candle, right? So this could be neither green nor red, and this would only be confirming this dumping pattern on the daily, right? This is what this could be looking like. This could be a neutral candle right here, playing out as a neutral candle to the daily pattern. Now the daily pattern, if you're playing the daily pattern, you're going to be in your trade as a short here with your stop loss here. Now the good news is you could do a flip trade. You could have a flip trade set up because of this green 6. You could have your flip trade set up to where if this thing does take off over this wick right here, this will flip you into a bullish trade. Right, so you're safe both long and short, and all you would lose is the difference from 67.18 to 67.74, and this was where you would lose the difference on this flip trade playing this, right? Because if this thing does take off, it's going to take off. Now, I do feel that being in this area, which we'll talk about in a different video, that you have limited top side here and more bottom side potential. All right, let's get that off there. And perfect.